welcome everyone to the catch up this morning, and we understand that the timing of these webinars is not ideal with seeding going on, but we are keen to get the message out on a few important developments that we have rolling out here in Australia and globally with the Farmer's Edge platform. And I guess this is part of an ongoing product development effort that we have as a digital ag business that's focused on providing farmers with value around how to access data from their farm that can help you focus on profitable, sustainable, and productive farming practices. So ingestion analysis presentation of this type of data is really core business for us, and we're excited about rolling out smartcab, which is, as I said, a further step forward for us in our ongoing product development. It's a per unit based telematics option that gives farmers live and comprehensive access to a range of really exciting data parameters in real time or near real time, and can connect to your farm machinery fleet regardless of its brand, and for as low as $400 a machine. So it's a really a simple and comprehensive development for us that's focused around giving cost-effective access to and simple use of data-based decision support solutions in and around the FARMCOMMAND platform. So look, I think a really important point to highlight with this development is that as a tool to help farmers focus on that business level data for your operation, it's a solution that can be bolted onto your machinery fleet regardless of its brand, and can represent a cents per hectare solution for you that's easy to use for you once we've set you up with the support to be able to do that, and is heavily supported by our team here in Australia. So look, it is a very exciting development for us. We're keen to get the message out about what it involves and use this session today to give you a demonstration on how it works and what you can do to access it. So I'll hand over to Kyle from here and let him run you through a presentation here on smartcab and let you know how it works.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Nick. So yeah, what we're here today to talk about is our new smartcab offer. So we've had CANPLUGs as a part of our offer for a number of years, but we've come up with a really great and exciting opportunity to allow for connectivity across the farm at a really cheap and effective price per hectare and price per machine. So what that does is allows you to have your green, blue, yellow, red, your semis, and even pivots connected onto the same platform for machine tracking, telematics, machine data, harvest data, application data, and really anything like that that might be happening on the property can be all in FARMCOMMAND now and under one platform, one app, and really just gives you that ability to have really unmatched connectivity across your farm and across your devices, so that you can have all of that information in one place. And really the big piece here is that there are some farms that are one color, but for those of us that aren't, this allows for all of them to come into the one place. So if you've got Gold Acre sprayers, if you've got Case tractors, if you've got JD headers, anything like that coming in, it's all going to be there for you, and you can view those pieces of equipment at the same time, same place. And that's what we're really excited about with this offer. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And that offer is our smartcab. So what that allows you to do is purchase individual CANPLUGs at a per unit price. So we've always been per hectare. This is really switching that up for us. Let you pick what makes sense for your property. How many CANPLUGs do you want to have on farm? What data you want to capture? And really put that power and that decision making back into your hands, instead of having just an all farm offer like we typically do. We're letting you kind of pick what makes sense for your opportunity, and this is really exciting for us. So what you're going to be getting with that smartcab offer is CANPLUG telematics devices. So pictured is our Gen 2 CANPLUG. You're going to get access to our weather network, so you'll get forecasts and current data based off the existing weather network. You're going to get access to our standard satellite imagery, so that's Landsat and Sentinel imagery available on our app and website for you to utilize when scouting and doing field activities. You're going to get access to the FARMCOMMAND app and desktop. So On the app, you're going to have the ability to live map your applications and harvest data. Additionally, track your equipment, things like that, perform scouting observations. On the desktop, you're also going to be able to access all of that data, track your equipment, but also have all of that data mapped for you. So all of your harvest maps, map out trials, anything like that, and really utilize that data you're capturing. And then lastly, but most importantly, we're going to be there to do those installations, provide that training, and provide that support that's really critical with this. So it's not a CANPLUG and forget type of offer. We really want to make sure that you can utilize that data. So COVID does provide some added issues with us, but when possible, come out on farm, provide that training. We do have a installation guideline for performing those installations and things like that to make sure that we're safe on farm. But we want to be there as much as we physically can to make sure that this is a success for you and your farming enterprise. So with that data, we're going to be taking a lot of different access points and providing that all into one platform. So across your mobile devices, this is Apple and Android based. You're going to be taking CANPLUG data, satellite data, potentially zone data, benchmark information, and putting that all back into your hands. So that's really what's exciting about this, is taking all those different data points and putting that into easily usable places. It's going to be accessible to you when you need it, where you need it. And so, like we said, what's included, we're breaking this down into 3 different areas. So 1, hardware, 2, software, and 3, training and support. 3 pillars that make this a success. Take away 1 and it doesn't work. So when we get into the hardware piece here, when we look at that, we're looking at our CANPLUG and our Gen 2 CANPLUG. We've had some major improvements with this device as our second model of this. But what you're going to be getting is that CANPLUG device. You're going to be getting the standard kit of a GPS antenna, cell antenna, harnessing to make sure that we can plug into the appropriate monitors and capture that data. There's a factory installed SIM card, so that is Telstra for Australia. And that also comes with a factory warranty. So if for some reason that CANPLUG does not work, we are going to come out and change that out. That's not a problem. If something's wrong with that, we'll fix that, no problem for you guys whatsoever. And we can also provide the USB-A and USB-B cords to ensure transferring of data from CANPLUG to monitor, which allows you to send prescription files directly to that CANPLUG into that cab of that equipment, so that you don't have to chase USB sticks around. That's going to allow you to send that data remotely. So with that CANPLUG, what that has is GPS, cell, and Bluetooth connectivity. So if you're in the paddock and in the cab of that piece of equipment, you're going to actually get live mapping as it's happening. If you're not in the cab, you're going to be looking at roughly a 30-second delay from what's live, but it does have that Bluetooth connections, which is really, really cool. Additionally, we were operating in a paddock with a customer last year, and we did not have any cell reception. But what happens is when we connect it to that Bluetooth, we get that live mapping. So even if you don't have a cell connection, you're still going to be able to see what's going on and get those live harvest maps, that type of stuff. This has USB connectivity. What's really cool about that is that not only can the CANPLUG send us data, we can send it data. So if you're doing variable rate applications on farm, you can actually go into FARMCOMMAND, select that piece of equipment, and send it prescription files. So just like JD Link or things like that, we can actually go in online and remotely send data to that CANPLUG. And then with that USB connections, you can plug into your monitor and then have those prescription files directly onto your CANPLUG, onto your monitor, without having to move any USB sticks, anything like that. This really, really helps out the flexibility of the CANPLUG and really what you can do on farm. It is fully ISOBUS compliant, so any piece of equipment that is ISOBUS capable, we're going to be pulling data off of it. Wireless data transfer, but really importantly is it has internal memory storage. One customer last year, they were harvesting and their contractor overfilled their hopper bin, grain spilled out and broke off the cell antenna of the CANPLUG. We weren't going to be able to get out there until the next day, but what happened was we got out there, changed the cell antenna out, and then that CANPLUG sent all that data. So it has data storage. If something goes wrong, it's going to store that until it can send it off to us. So it really just provides a big safety net for us. even if you're operating in somewhere that doesn't have any cell reception whatsoever, it's going to store that data until it can send it off. And it sends very small packages of information. So if you are operating in a very data sparse area, that's generally not a problem. It's still going to be able to send data. We've had very few examples of where it wasn't sending data regularly, but because of that memory storage, it's going to send it later. And as always, completely passive, so it's not interfering with your operations, and completely mixed fleet capable. So yeah, whatever you're running on farm, it's going to be able to provide that access and connectivity to you, which is so critical for that. And so giving you an idea, we've got multiple headers here operating in a paddock in this screenshot, capturing fuel data, harvest data, anything like that that's coming across there, to give you guys that complete view of what's going on farm, and give you those live yield maps and live data, live application data, anything like that. If you're seeding and you've got maybe 2 different tractors operating in the paddock, you're not only going to see your path, but you're going to see your other tractors' paths as well. So you know exactly where you are in the paddock, what's been seeded, what hasn't been seeded, and you're on top of what's occurring on your farm with that. And so software-wise, what's included with this, you're going to get an annual subscription to the FarmCommand platform, which includes the app and desktop. So that's included in that per CANPLUG price. So not only are you buying the CANPLUG, you're also getting an access point to view your data and utilize your data, plus all of the digital tools that we're developing and currently have already. So on that app, what's really great here is you're going to get access to the in-cab experience, which is that live mapping that we've been talking about. You're also going to get access to the weather network. So any weather stations that are currently on Farmer's Edge, you're going to be able to access that. So when you're doing a spray job, things like that, you can actually see that live weather data on the same screen as your application data. With our scouting observations, you're going to be able to utilize Sentinel and Landsat imagery. You're going to get NDVI maps, variation maps, and scouting maps. So our scouting maps are a really, really great tool. They are taking your NDVI maps and stretching those colors from the mean. So whatever your average point is, the further away that is positively, it's going to be darker and darker green. And the further away that is negatively, it's going to be darker and darker red. And then the variation maps are taking all the different color bands that we're receiving. So your red, green, blue, infrared, and it's creating a map based off of that utilizes more subtle changes, so we can illustrate smaller things that might be happening in the paddock. You put those 3 together and you've got a very robust scouting platform as well. The ability to add jobs for new and existing, so to track that with the in-cab experience. There is a markets function, so you can access the Chicago Mercantile Exchange to view that data. Harvest is a bin management system, and then we've got a supply system where you can start to do some inventory management, things of that nature. We're really looking forward to developing that tool out a lot further, which is going to be something you'll see over this growing season predominantly. You'll see that tool really start to get some teeth to it. So we talked about having machine connectivity. This is really where the rubber hits the road. It's with this in-cab experience. So this is an actual screenshot out of a customer from Harvest this year. You're going to see that weather data, that machine data, all on the same screen. Get the live harvest maps coming right in. Really, what's important is that I know a lot of people say, you know, I don't need my harvest map as it's happening. That's okay to say that, but if you want to make decisions off your harvest data or any data for that matter, you need to know it's going to be captured. This way, you know your data is coming in, you know exactly where it is, when it's happening. So that way, you know you're going to be able to make those management decisions off your harvest data at the end of the season because you've seen it come in. You know it looks good. You know your machines are calibrated, and you know you're going to be able to make decisions like doing VR gypsum, VR lime, anything like that afterwards because you've seen that data come in. So it takes away the stress of making those post-harvest decisions because you've seen it come in. So it's complete connection, real-time data, and you can view your machine as well as all the machines, and it just really takes away any of that stress of data collection that used to exist in the past. Additionally with that, not only harvest data, but as we're getting into the seeding and kind of starting to get through seeding, we're also going to have spray data. So we can upload that satellite imagery and have that as a background layer when we're doing an application. We can see what rates we're spraying at. We can see how fast we're going, fuel data, and really make sure that we're doing the appropriate things. We had a customer last week actually came up to us and had a neighbor with concerns about spray drift. We were able to isolate exactly when that sprayer drove those outside rounds, how fast they drove those outside rounds, the time frame to within 5 minutes of when they did that, provided speed maps, application maps, and we're even mapping out the boom pressure because the sprayer has that potential to do that. But they have pretty much everything they need to be able to say yes or no, what happened, plus the weather data, and they don't have to do anything extra to gather that information. It's being collected for you as it's happening. So take away some of that stress. We know 2,4-D is a big issue. We can really help manage that a lot with the data that you can capture seamlessly and passively, which is really, really critical these days. And lastly, if you're looking at your machines, with a simple click of a button, you can go and see your tractors, see what's going on, what fuel level are we at, what speed are we traveling at, and just really get a quick snapshot of the equipment on farm without having to go through too many steps, which really makes it a lot more usable than it would have been in the past. And that's really what we're trying to do, make this as simple on the farmer as possible. And here we just have one more screenshot from harvest last year. So in this instance, we're actually currently watching 5 headers. You can easily see, or sorry, 4 headers. You can easily see 3. There's one more hidden. Since this screenshot, we've changed a couple of things where the harvesters are actually now a bright color based on what brand they are. With this, though, we're getting live mapping, live data. We had 3 New Hollands and an Ideal header in this paddock. So multiple different brands, and we're able to compare all of that equipment data at the same time and really help those guys get complete harvest maps across the property. And so when we're looking at those jobs, this is a new update coming out next week on our app. We're really excited about this. To be able to view that data on the app, it's just 2 different screens. We're trying to make the job creation process as simple as possible. Select what you're going to be doing, select your piece of equipment, what implement, and you can go and watch your data and track your jobs. So not only are you getting machine tracking and mapping, you're also getting a really easy way to track what's happening on the property with you. So it's really, really exciting pieces for us there. Additionally, as we talked about, you're going to get access to satellite imagery. So standard Sentinel and Landsat imagery with NDVI, variation, and scouting maps to be able to help make in-paddock decisions as you're going. Well, then with our desktop, you're going to see our weather network, equipment reports, the imagery, scouting reports, jobs and assets. So any jobs you've created will come up here as well. And then all of your planting, application, and harvest data will be processed for you as well. So whatever data we can collect will be processed for you, included in that CANPLUG fee. So not only machine tracking, but also accessing all of that data as well, which is really important. You're going to get 24 to 48 hour data processing. So generally your data is back to you the next day. If you're harvesting today, you should have that information back to you the next day. Application data, we actually had an incident yesterday with a customer that had one seeder that didn't put down the appropriate amounts of seed. We were able to provide them back with their application maps of where each tractor drove, and they were able to reseed about 300 hectares of paddocks that didn't have appropriate seed and fertilizer applied based off this data. So again, another really good fail-safe during seeding to make sure you've got the appropriate activities happening on farm when they should be happening. The weather network, just to give you an idea, this is kind of down in New South Wales. Wherever we have weather stations, you're going to access those stations. Down around Narandra. So yeah, it just depends on the area, but you are going to be able to see those stations and utilize that data. Additionally, you'll get a 10-day daily forecast and a 48-hour hourly forecast. Our forecasts are provided by IBM. They are statistically the most accurate in Australia, North America, and South America where we operate. So a 10-day daily forecast with your high and low. You're also going to get a 48-hour hourly forecast. So wind speed, direction, gusts, as well as your delta T forecast coming into this so that you can make the appropriate decisions for spraying and things like that, and have all of this information recorded for you. So if something does go wrong, you've got a fail-safe there that you know it's been recorded, which is really important. Additionally, on Farm Command, you're also going to get access to all of the machine reports. So if you want to look back and see what happened on a certain date, you can look back and search by paddock. You can search by equipment and see how many hectares, how much time, different things like that, all those different machine parameters to see, how are our contractors operating? How is the owned equipment versus rented? Do we have a disc drill versus a tine drill? And really start to make decisions about what's going on in the paddock, as well as have how much fuel was burned, that type of stuff, if you need that for accounting maybe or something like that. All of these reports are there for you. You just have to go in and search for it, and you'll be able to access all of that data for you on your time. If you're making scouting observations in the app, that'll also come through in the desktop. So any observation you make, you can overlay that against harvest data, against imagery, and really see, did that weed escape have an impact? Maybe you did a trial, maybe there was some missed tillage or different things like that. You can have all of those points over top of your harvest data and really make sure that it is appropriate and that you're able to really analyze that data on your terms. And the last piece that's really critical here on the website, you're going to get all of that harvest data, applied data, things like overlap, elevation maps, hectares per hour productivity maps. Off yields, you'll get moisture and fuel usage as well. So all of that data is processed for you next day. So no waiting around for harvest maps, no waiting around for applied maps. We collect it, send it up to the cloud, it gets processed for you, and then it's there for you to utilize. With this, you can also map out trials really easily. So you can go in, draw out your trial areas, pull that data, really dig into your information on your turns. It's going to be there for you and collected with the least amount of work you ever would have had in the past. So we're really excited about that functionality there. And lastly, we've got a number of different ways of trying to provide service and support. So one, you can always call us, contact us. We've got people across Australia to help with that. We have a 1-800 line as well. Additionally, we've got a full YouTube video tutorial. We also have an online portal with all of our training all of our training materials. So how-to guides, videos. When you receive your login to Farm Command, you'll be provided with a link to that site. And it has full learning material there to make sure that if you're wanting to try to find something out yourself, you can look that up at night whenever suits you. When the COVID situation does relax, we want to be able to do those in-person training as well. That's something we really pride ourselves on, is coming out to the farm, having that boots on the ground presence on property. So providing you with in-person training, doing those installations, making sure the equipment's working. And then we've also started performing regular webinars, which is something that we really want to continue with. So we're very confident that we can provide support in a way that's going to fit you and what you need. But most of all, we've got people across Australia that are always available for you. So call, text, email. We want to make sure that we can help you out when suits. And then lastly, the cost of the CANPLUG. So the year one, it's going to be $899, and year two, it's going to be $499. If you purchase on a volume or for a full farm, we can waive the installation fee as well. So if you're $899 plus $125 for installation, if you do purchase on volume, we can get rid of that. And then year two and beyond, you're only looking at $499 to collect that data and have all of that mapped. So it is a very, very cost-effective solution that provides you with full machine tracking, full machine data, and really the simplest way to have that telematics that's ever been provided to Australian farmers. And it's something that we're really, really excited about there. So if you are looking for a demo of the app or the website or anything else like that, please reach out to us. We are more than happy to do that. Right now, we do it over Zoom or Teams or something like that, and definitely dig into it as much as you want to answer any questions you might have left unanswered. So please reach out to us, Nick or myself, Kyle, nick.bryant at farmersedge.ca, kyle.hoyda at farmersedge.ca. You can also go to our website, farmersedge.ca/au/smartcab. But please don't hesitate. We are really excited to help you guys out, and we think this is a great offer that fits Australia really well. So please let us know if there's anything else that we can provide to you guys. But otherwise, I really want to say thanks for the time. We know everyone's pretty busy here with seeding right now, so thanks for making the time to come and view what we've got. Yeah, let us know if there's anything else we can do. But best of luck with seeding, and look forward to chatting with you guys, yeah, all soon. Thank you very much.